On today's video, we're taking a look at the AnimEigo releases of Bubblegum Crisis and Bubblegum Crash on Blu-ray.
It's morphin' time!
Hello, this is Soundout here, and today we're talking about one of my favorite anime series of all time, Bubblegum Crisis, and one of its sequels, Bubblegum Crash. These are brand new releases of both series, and I'm so excited to talk about this because I really, really love this franchise, and I just am so happy there's new Blu-rays because there's a lot of really cool stuff to talk about. So AnimEigo is a company that's been around a long time. I hope I'm saying their name right. It may be AnimEigo, AnimEigo, maybe it's AnimEigo. Anyways, point is, it's been around a long time, and they recently got a new change in ownership, but unlike what happened to places like Right Stuff, the change of ownership went into the hands of people who love and respect the anime industry. For example, being Media OCD, which is a company that does a lot of work for Discotek Media, and those guys that work on Discotek releases now own AnimEigo, and they are working with licensing and kind of updating a lot of those releases. And so these are two of their new recent releases for this. And you might be asking, hasn't there already been a Blu-ray for Bubblegum Crisis? Yes, from AnimEigo, which was a Kickstarter thing that later got a retail release for the high-definition Disctopia edition. This is the perfect edition, and this edition has even more than this ever included, and we're going to talk about the differences there. And for Bubblegum Crash, it only ever had a DVD from AnimEigo, so this is a massive upgrade, and we're going to talk about all of it. This is going to be kind of like one of those videos where I talk about something I really like, and it's going to get kind of technical, but also be kind of informative and fun. Let's enjoy and talk about Bubblegum Crisis, Bubblegum Crash, and their new Blu-rays. If you enjoy this type of video, please hit the like button and subscribe and the notification bell. Really helps this channel, really helps this video in particular. I have no idea how this is going to do. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's talk about Bubblegum Crisis first, because that's kind of not new to Blu-ray, but new to an upgraded Blu-ray. So here's AnimEigo's Bubblegum Crisis Mega Tokyo 2032 Perfect Collection, the story of the Nightsabers. Now, this is not the cover most people will see when looking for it online. It's actually going to be this cover. Because the first thing I want to talk about is that there is a bonus for ordering from Media OCD's web store, which is the slipcover. So it's kind of a neat bonus. It was with my pre-order. I know they have like a certain number of these available. I don't know if it's still available now that the release is out. But basically, it's kind of a neat bonus. Like, you want a slipcover, order it from us directly. And I will say the shipping process for this was amazing. So I made my pre-order. I put in Bubblegum Crisis, Bubblegum Crash, and this really cool Pris t-shirt they offered with Pris on it and her lightsaber form. Really nice, comfy shirt, honestly. So I made that whole order, and then when Bubblegum Crisis came out, I think it was the last thing to come out, they shipped the entire order. Both Blu-rays were wrapped in bubble wrap. The slipcovers were provided flat in little sleeves, and everything arrived in perfect condition. So absolutely would order from Media OCD again, and they're starting to carry Discotek titles, which is really, really nice. So definitely enjoyed ordering from the Media OCD store. But yeah, these slipcovers are kind of a nice bonus. It's not super like necessity if you don't get this. The standard release is definitely excellent. We'll talk about that. I do find it interesting the back cover is the old cover from the previous Blu-ray. So it's really, really cool, and that's really awesome. So this is what's going to be available if you buy it on Amazon, from Crunchyroll, from any other retailers that may carry it. Those are the only two I know of. It's going to be just kind of the standard release, but everything else is the same, which is awesome. So the only thing that's exclusive to pre-orders and Media OCD is the slipcover. And if you don't mind not having that, then, this is still really cool. So what is Bubblegum Crisis? Well, the whole story behind this series is that there are these robots that are, they can act like humans, and they have supposedly taken over the menial jobs of labor and like food preparation, the stuff that humans don't want to do. So that way humanity can evolve into a greater society. Naturally, because this is a cyberpunk story time, it's going to reflect on society and talk about how that doesn't work, especially when boomers start going rogue and attacking humans. And so part of that storyline is that the AD police exist in order to fight the boomers and protect people, but the Nightsabers, which are these four women, have hard suits they don in order to fight the rogue boomers and work on their own. The series is very much coded in 1980s cyberpunk aesthetic. It was an OVA series, so they were released direct-to-video, one episode at a time, so they have like incredible animation budgets and an incredible music budget. Every episode has a specific song to it, and they are all like fully produced, fully performed songs, and it's really great. A really great series. I highly recommend checking it out. It's one of my all-time favorite anime series. And this release is so good. So in addition to the booklet, which we'll talk about, it's a 2-disc set, and this set is all region, A, B, and C. Excellent stuff. It's a 2-disc collection. It's going to spread the episodes between the two as well as their bonus features. So the first 6 are on disc 1, and the 7 and 8 are on disc 2. The episodes vary in runtime from 30 to 45 minutes. On the inside here, we got a shot of Pris on her bike behind disc 1, which matches what's on disc 1. And then Pris is on her bike with her hard suit on disc 2. And then behind that, you have the 5 main characters there, which is really, really awesome. So really like this. The case style is interesting because it does seem like I don't think I would do this. Yeah, it is one of those case styles where it's thick enough if you want to stack the discs on top of each other, you could, but you don't have to because they do provide 2 spindles, and that might be easier if you don't want to keep pulling the booklet out from disc 1. The choice is yours. For me, I'm going to leave it like that. So this was a neat bonus they included, which is a 50-page booklet all about Bubblegum Crisis, because this series has so much history behind it. So it's got different things. You've got translations of interviews. So like this was Bubblegum Crisis, Memories of the Good Old Days from director Katsuhito Akiyama, who directed episodes 1 to 3. This was from 1997. Gives you a background of who he is, and then talks about, and then has his stuff. You have, art directors, people that worked on the series. And it has like the dates and like all the historical information. And this is just really, really awesome. And I love that it's in a booklet, because I love when like Discotech includes like, a lot of text and liner notes in the Blu-ray menus. It's nice, but I do like reading in a physical book, so I really like that. So we got some voice cast stuff. There's also translation notes for the release, which is really, really nice, kind of like explain how they did that. And some program notes, which are kind of like a glossary for some of the terms and some of the episodes themselves, which is really cool. If you're a fan of this series, this is going to be like just an excellent thing to have. And then also here's everybody that worked on the booklet and everybody that works on this stuff. It's Media OCD, who does a lot of work for Discotech. Excellent stuff. So also original interviews were by AnimEigo, because AnimEigo was the original license holder to bring Bubblegum Crisis over. They dubbed it into English. They released it over here back in the day. They've been kind of in charge of releasing it ever since. They've really, it's like, I think, kind of their premier title. So the question does become, what makes this new release better than AnimEigo's previous Blu-ray that they did a whole Kickstarter for? Well, first of all, the previous Blu-ray was all 8 OVAs on a single disc, which is a BD50, which is still nice. It looks great. Let me double check here. I don't know if they have the size here. I believe these are BD50s as well, for 2 of them. And then on top of that, you get, color and line art galleries, subtitles, plus English and Japanese audio. And there's bonus supplementary materials they had online. There was also physical bonuses if you got the Kickstarter, and those, of course, are still exclusive to Kickstarter. The thing I really, really appreciated with this is that the new release, of course, you're thinking, oh man, you already bought the previous one, or what if you backed the Kickstarter? Well, Media OCD had this deal on their website. I don't know if it's still active, but when they had this up for pre-order, is that if you own the previous release, you could send in a picture of your copy with your name on it to prove that you own it, and they'd give you a 50% discount code for their store for this. And that's how I ended up buying the t-shirt, because it dropped the price of this down in half. And so I was like, oh, I can afford to buy the t-shirt as well as Bubblegum Crash. And I thought that was so nice, because I had owned this release. I had paid for this release, and it's the same company putting out something better, and they offered that. And I'm so grateful. I love when companies do that. I remember Right Stuff used to do that with their Gundam releases. Like there was a couple shows they re-released on Blu-ray that had already released on DVD, and they offered a thing where it's like, oh, you can get a discount on upgrading and that kind of thing. So I'm glad they did that. It makes me happy. I was able to buy this for a lot less. And I can say without any like hyperbole, this is 100% the perfect collection of Bubblegum Crisis. Let's go take a look at the disc menus and talk about what makes this better than the previous release. All right, for context, this is the original Bubblegum Crisis menu from the original AnimEigo Blu-ray release, the high-definition Disctopia release. You can see it's got the episodes listed down here, all 8 of them. You have the color artwork gallery, you have the line artwork gallery. For audio options, you just have Japanese and English. And then for subtitle options, you have all of these, like all of these subtitles. They even have it broken down as like multicolor subtitles for like those, and then you have like grayscale subtitles for what you want, or no subtitles. all kinds of options there. That's pretty much all the original disc release included. So disc 1 of the Perfect Collection, the new edition, has really nice artwork on it and a really simplified menu. I kind of like these simplified menus. The constantly playing video, A, it's harder for me to film on video to show you guys stuff, and also B, it's just a little distracting. I kind of like the simplicity here. So we got play all episodes and setup. So of course episodes will pull up the tab for episodes 1 through 6. And then we got setup, which gives you audio for not only English, Japanese, but Spanish, French, Italian, Catalan, and Korean for the first 3 episodes, because there wasn't a Korean dub for the rest of it. And then English, SDH, Spanish, French, German, Italian, and Korean subtitles. So pretty stacked on the audio and subtitle options. So now in terms of picture quality, I believe this got an upgrade. The first release looked great, but this is also looking pretty good. I couldn't tell you if it was completely redone. Let me know in the comments if you know. There was one big bonus, though, is that it's got lossless audio as opposed to lossy audio, which is pretty nice because that's a nice upgrade over the audio from the previous set. And also because they are on separate discs, you now kind of think you get a higher fidelity on the overall presentation. It just looks fantastic and it sounds fantastic. Also, I don't talk about this much, but here's what the pop-up menu looks like. It's a little bit different because I was just going to switch over and turn the subtitles on. But yeah, there's your pop-up menu. You can access everything, no problem. Some Blu-rays will make you go all the way back to the beginning of the disc and like a top menu thing. But yeah, you got a nice little pop-up menu there. So dialogue is going to be in yellow font with nice black bolding, and then songs will be in italicized blue for the English translation lyric and italicized purple for the Japanese romanization. So if you wanted to read along for the Romanji, you have that option as well. We also have nice scrolling credits in English for the Japanese cast and staff and the music credits and everything, in addition to the original Japanese credits. And you have, animation staff, all that. Love seeing that on releases. All right, so here's the menu for Disc 2. It's got the artwork from Disc 2. Play all episodes set up extra. So, of course, episodes are going to be episodes 7 and 8. And you're wondering why those would be just together like that. What's the runtime on 7 and 8? Well, the runtime is going to be an hour and 42 minutes just for those 2 episodes, because it's OVAs. They could be whatever length they wanted them to be back then. Now, remember on the first release, the only extras were a couple galleries. Boom, look at the extras here. So, holy cow, where do we start? So first of all, we have a brand new interview with Kenichi Sonata, which is excellent, really great. Also, not all subtitle languages are available for extra features. There's the original episode 5 promo, the trailer for this Blu-ray, the concept art gallery, or the character art gallery, and the mecha props and background design gallery, which are carried forward from the previous release. Then you have music video collections in SD. So there is a Hurricane Live 2032 music video, which was part of the promotion for episode 4. Hurricane Live 2033, another music video. And then Bye to the Second Power Night Sabers Holiday in Bali, another music video. And those were released originally. They then recut 8 music videos, which are the songs from each show. Like There's a Hurricane Tonight is Konyawa Hurricane, pretty famous song. It ended up in the Scott Pilgrim animated series somehow. But there's like 8 different music videos here that are now in HD with the HD footage from the show, which is amazing. Like they had to recut those. It was really good. And there's also available for Media OCD feature. Really amazing. Like to go from just we had a couple galleries to look at all the stuff. Like, yeah, most of it's music videos, but like music videos and the songs are a big part of Bubblegum Crisis, and why people love it so much is the music. So having all that is just so cool, and I really love it. And then having a brand new interview with Kenichi Sonata, it's cherry on top of everything else. This is an amazing release. So next, let's talk about Bubblegum Crash. Now, Bubblegum Crash is an interesting thing because there was a legal snag with Bubblegum Crisis, where the 2 studios that worked on the original split off. And this was produced by one of the studios, and then there was like a whole legal thing that caused this to only be 3 episodes. But the idea was it was supposed to continue the storyline and is a direct sequel. It's not as good as the original Bubblegum Crisis. Like I can say without a doubt, it is not as good as the original, but it's still good, and I still like it, and it does expand on the story, I think, in an interesting way. This was a series that was released as 3 OVAs, and now it's here on Blu-ray. So just like with Bubblegum Crisis, the slipcover is going to be exclusive to the Media OCD store. You can see it's got a nice shot of the 4 in their hard suits. The spine has the logo and the playing card symbols, and the front art looks really good. And then the interior, here you can see this. But this is actually an inverted cover. The standard edition, I believe, also does contain the same reversible cover, so you can have the art that's the matching of what's the slipcover, or you can have this different art. I obviously chose for the different art because I wanted to match, have a different artwork than the slipcover I have, but you have the choice for the standard. So this release is, I think, the one that I was very excited about. I was excited about New Bubblegum Crisis, but I was very excited for this because this is a 3-episode OVA. It is dubbed into English. It has the same cast as the original, the same English dub for both, because AnimEigo released it back in the day. But the thing about AnimEigo's release of Bubblegum Crash is that while we had a Blu-ray for Crisis, Crash was stuck on a crusty old DVD. And it's not to say there's anything bad about this DVD. It was fine for the time. But this DVD is really old. I believe this one is the 2001 edition of the DVD when they had licensed it prior. And this is, like, this just looks ancient, right? Like the old disc tray where it's like, kind of done on the cheap. The artwork's not great. This doesn't even reflect the series well at all. And, it's like you can't even read some of the text because it's going in. It just owning it. It feels old. And they kept it in print for so long because they did not have any way of making it better than what it was. Now, when you get the wizards at Media OCD, they've now been able to get Bubblegum Crash into HD, which is also an accomplishment because there was a Film Master issue with this series. And so one of the episodes was restored from a film print, which was episode 2, and episodes 1 and 3 are going to be upscaled from the existing elements. So I'm impressed by the work they did here, but I think the best way to look at that is by going into the menu, going into the bonus features, and looking at the series itself. So, for context, this is the original Bubblegum Crash DVD menu for the original DVD release. The funny part about this is it reminds me of a lot of DVD menus that are trying for something experimental. So your play all's in this corner, your settings are in this corner, your extras are down here, and then your credits over here. But then what is all this? Well, it is the 3 episode titles. So if you want to select the episodes, you have to go between the other menus. For settings, we had English audio no subs, English audio with captions, English audio with subs, Japanese audio with English subs, Japanese audio with captions, and Japanese audio without subs. Just got a Shin Ultraman Cleopatra flashback from this old DVD, but it was an old DVD, okay? It had an excuse. Shin Ultraman Cleopatra did not have an excuse. For extras, there was just a gallery, and the gallery, of course, was a gallery of images, as you'd imagine. And then you had a sete gallery, which is like character art kind of stuff. And it's going to be hard to tell because I have a camera pointed at a TV, but originally the picture was really fuzzy, really grainy. It was just kind of typical DVD stuff of the early 2000s, to be honest. It just didn't look amazing. So here we have the new Blu-ray edition of Bubblegum Crash. We got play all episodes, setup, and extras. Let's go take a look at the episodes, because episodes here, Illegal Army, Geocliber's Meltdown. All 3 are there, easy to find, not hidden throughout the menu. For setup, we have English US version with dub songs, English UK version with Japanese songs, Japanese 2.0, and Castilian Spanish 2.0. Pretty awesome. For subtitles, we got full English, English signs only US, English signs and songs UK, English SDH US, full Spanish, Spanish signs and songs, German, and Portuguese. So really stacked. And then for extras, we have an About This Restoration feature, as well as a Blu-ray trailer, the PC Engine game promo video, which is wild to pull up and find, because there was a game for PC Engine for Bubblegum Crash, and also available from Media OCD. Now, I thought instead of showing you shots from the show, let's look at the About This Restoration feature. I want to point out how much work had to be done, because this is the important part that I was trying to remember the exact details on. So basically, these were always intended for VHS tapes, so the original 35mm film that they shot the actual animation on was discarded, and so they did not have the original animation film elements for episodes 1 and 3. They had it for episode 2, but episodes 1 and 3 they didn't, so they used AstroRes to get the rest of the footage and the master tapes they had up to snuff for HD, which is really incredible. And you can see here how we have the new HD footage versus the old SD footage, and it's night and day. It's really night sabers and day sabers with this transfer. That was a dumb joke, I'm sorry. But the thing is, the restoration is just really great. You went from this kind of grainy, blurry kind of footage that was transferred from a VHS tape to a DVD to now a really nice, pristine HD version. There also was some stuff that AstroRes couldn't recover, and they had to work with more analog stuff to get it back up to detail. This whole feature is like 3 minutes of just like, look how much painstaking work we put into this, and I really appreciate everything they did. And they did talk about while they did have a 35mm print that they could scan into 2K for episode 2, it was in rough shape, so there was mold damage and extra decoloration and all this other stuff they had to fix to get it to look right. So because of that, they were able to get together a really nice looking version. Episode 2, I think, does look better than episode 1 and 3, especially for a video file. Overall, all 3 episodes do look terrific, and it's the best it's ever looked. It's leagues beyond that old DVD. That old DVD was old. It's understandable. This is definitely an upgrade. So these are 2 excellent releases that, as a Bubblegum Crisis fan, make me incredibly happy. I couldn't be happier with these. But of course, if you're wondering, because you've never experienced Bubblegum Crisis before this video, what else is in this series, right? Well, there is the 80 Police Files, which is a prequel series focused on the 80 police and their hunting down of boomers. It actually Leon is one of the main characters of this. This is a very adult series. With Bubblegum Crisis and Crash, while they are in that era of OVAs that could do anything, they have like an age rating of 16 plus on them, for 16 plus for Crisis, and 13 plus for Crash. Crash has got a little bit less than Crisis does. This is definitely like adult series with an 18 plus. It's a prequel. AnimEigo did release this. This is like, you can kind of see the same type of, old school DVD. I'm kind of hoping, I don't know for sure because we haven't heard anything, but I'm kind of hoping AnimEigo in the modern day could maybe do a Blu-ray of 80 Police Files. I actually like this. This one was cut short due to legal issues as well, but I did like this and I would love to see a remaster of it. This movie can burn in hell. Sorry for the harsh words. Parasite Dolls might be one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. It is officially part of the Bubblegum Crisis universe, but it is just kind of gross. Look at that, TVMA VS Andy. I do not like this entry at all. I feel like it has nothing to do with like any of the other Bubblegum Crisis series. This wasn't even released by AnimEigo. This was released by ACR Holdings, and it was originally ADV released it. Do not like this. It is so tangentially like not attached that I wouldn't even include it. There was Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040, which was a TV series in the late 90s. This was a 26-episode show, and it took story elements from Crisis and Crash to kind of reimagine it, update it a little bit. Tokyo 2040, if you remember from the cover to Crisis, that took place in 2032. So it kind of like pushed the timeline out a little bit. Completely standalone from the OVAs and kind of as an expansion. The last time this got released, it was originally released by ADV, then it got released by Funimation on these discs that have this really cool like etching on them, which I really liked. Like it's actually got texture to it. This was a pretty solid release. I don't know if Funimation, or should I say Crunchyroll, has the rights to this anymore, but it'd be kind of neat to see a Blu-ray of it in the future. But this was a solid release nonetheless. And Nozomi Entertainment did its spinoff, 80 Police to Protect and Serve. This was a standard definition Blu-ray for all 12 episodes. And this was about the 80 police, and it's in the Tokyo 2040 universe. So you have Parasite Dolls, which is this thing I regret even owning. Then you have Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 20 and 80 Police to Protect and Serve. They're in their own continuity. And then you have the original continuity stuff. So it'd be really nice to see 80 Police Files, because AnimEigo did have the license to that. It is part of the original Bubblegum Crisis universe. As usual, I'll take whatever I can get. I am not going to be complaining about anything. But it is nice that we've gotten now Crash on Blu-ray, and we've even upgraded the Crisis Blu-ray so much to really kind of get more of this series out there again. And like I said, if you've never checked out Bubblegum Crisis, absolutely highly recommended. Just absolutely love it. So that is pretty much it for my review on these 2 releases. They are stellar, absolute recommendations, whether you get them from Media OCD, which I do recommend getting them straight from the source. Great company doing work here. Or if you get them from other retailers, I do highly recommend picking them up. Let me know in the comments what you think of the releases of the series, and also be sure to subscribe to the notification bell and hit the like button down there if you haven't already. Really helps out the videos, really helps out the channel. Really do appreciate that. Want to continue the conversation? Join our Discord server. You can get notifications of new videos as well as to join awesome discussions. Plus, you can join as a channel member, which has perks like early access to videos, member-exclusive live streams, and more. And you can get some special shoutouts like these channel members. Special shout out to all of our channel members, including our captain tiers: Spin-54, Toma K, Jamie's World, MasterBin95, Super Shaddix Boom, Forever1000, Ben Odinson, Philippe Ceruno, Common Pikachu, Mr. Smelly Potato, Vigo, Michael Flores, BV Universe Official, Spidey Brian, Colm Creed, The Clueless Collector, and Common Spidey. Thank you everybody for your support of this channel. If you so wish, I'm also on social media at Blue Sky and Discord at Soundout12. My wonderful graphic designers on social media at DarkClaw643, And you can find Hero Club at heroesclub.com for anime interviews, news, reviews, and more. And until next time, this is Soundout saying goodbye.